Good evening. I can't hardly believe that we've been meeting for 7 days, and it's been a very, very big privilege. And yeah, congratulations. And we will be following up actually tomorrow. So for those of you who can join, same link actually. And the session today, I guess, will be a continuation, but also an open ending for the follow-up. But yesterday, this aspect of message of pain, I always appreciate this quote, how to deal with life as it comes and upheaval. It's Peter Drucker said, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, but it is to act with yesterday's logic. So what is the logic we need right now with the unpredictable world? Knowing it's a drama and chapters have beginning, middle, and end is very soothing when we are experiencing this innate security. And then from there, we can certainly manage the scenes. Yesterday's logic might be, well, what do you think? It'd be interesting to hear. And also, we are not reinventing anything. So I love this poetry by T.S. Eliot in Little Gidding. He said, we shall not cease from exploration, and at the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. Some kind of cycle going on, and maybe you've all experienced it in different ways. So we can continue today, and welcome to everyone who's just joined, and welcome into Prashant if he's ready. Hello.
Hello, and welcome back.
Prashant's joining us from a different dimension, I think. No?
You can hear?
Yeah, it's fine. It's no feedback now.
Yes, it is great that you've been able to attend all these days, and congratulations for your perseverance, for being together for the whole year. 1 year passed. Let us create another few moments of silence. And main thing for us is the true self. That is like a one simple step, but changes the game. And the true self is the invisible traveler. Is also the invisible witness. And when we say the true self, he is observer of this physical world. He sees things in a new way. He sees the whole physical world as a story, and it is separate from him. It is not his story. He knows his complete separation. That is his strength. Independence from the story. And this invisible witness, he knows he is immortal. His world is eternal. and is beyond harm. We can use the highest words from the dictionary for his world. Divine and noble and royal, world of perfection. Because in this world, there is no beggar, no victim, none of these tendencies. Ravan is not there. It's a Ravan free region. That's why if there is no demon, then there is divine. We can use the word divine reality. So it is like a biggest prize anyone can win. And this reality is timeless. It is his choice whether he sees it the right way or whether he sees it upside down. That is his choice. But right now we are the right way up. The invisible witness is conscious, understands that his world is full, he's full, complete, and what he has got is the best and eternally. Silently he knows that he is lucky, not based on the story. Ravan is the one who thinks he's lucky because of the story. And then story changes and he screams. That is Ravan. Whereas the invisible witness, he is forever lucky. He knows everyone is lucky. Thank you. We'll come to our board. And then physically when we meet, Prashant always goes with the flip chart with him. Whenever there is any talk, known for this. So in the first minute, there has to be the board. Since Zoom serves me well, it has got a whiteboard. So some quick summary of what we've been discussing at various times. And we definitely need to remember we got a home. And we have got this great gift in the form of the story. We know beforehand it is a temporary gift. That stories are, we don't want them in our home. It is meant to be temporary. And this invisible travelers, that's the family. We are a family of travelers and we are a family of actors. So we all belong. They are all divine, all noble and angelic. We said highest words from the dictionary need to be used for all of us. And when we say us, we are not talking about Cinderella. We are talking about invisible actors. They are noble and divine, and they are loosely associated with the story, putting extra emphasis in this detachment. Because our big problem is not only attachment, our big problem is not just attachment. What is the big problem? Bigger problem than attachment. You want to tell? you will get a prize. Our big problem is not attachment. What is the problem?
Identification, ignorance, confusion, maybe wanting to have a prize. Joking. Ego.
Answers are right, but you would get a prize. Our biggest problem is don't know that we are attached. We don't see this attachment in a story is a problem. Ignorance, confusion, agreed. But we don't know that we don't know. We think as if it is our right to claim all these things. We think it is a success and brag, parade. That is, look at this, all this is mine, this kind of attitude. It has become normal. We have normalized it, that confusion. So even to see this as absurd, to come into this foreign world and claim even one atom there, it is absurd. This has to be seen. Then only we can change it. If we think it is all normal, that creates problem. That normalizing it creates problem because then we remain detached, disconnected from our world, emotionally disconnected from our true family and ourselves. If we think this false is normal, and then why should we do anything about this? So yes, in the last few sessions we saw in this journey into attachments, when we come in this journey of attachments, the big drop is when we start creating identities. That's a big drop. Why it is a big drop? Because you might like to remove this ego, but ego doesn't want to go. Ego has its own life. It is something like this. Ego is I, the identity of the I, and it wants to survive. Other attachments, you want to remove, you remove the attachments. But I is worse than artificial intelligence. They are worried about this artificial intelligence that it might suddenly take over. This false I has taken over. It is false, but it has a life and it wants to survive. It doesn't worry about you remaining unconscious. In fact, it wants you to remain unconscious so that this I can carry on. All this I put together, we use the word Ravan for this. But what happens in the nature's law, this is a upside down posture. Nature sees it as absurd to stay in that posture. You have crossed a line and not just creating attachments, creating identities. So nature wants to give punishment, so one loses on all fronts when we are going in that direction. All the natural calamities and personal problems, they're all 100% because of the wrong posture. And we have the option to change the posture. No one else will do it. I have to do it. And I have to do it before pain comes. And when I change the posture, you can expect miracle. Because this is an absolute law. We said you change the posture, pain disappears. Pain is there as long as the posture is wrong. You can take painkillers and do many things, but pain will be there. It will come again. But change the posture, pain will subside. Here we are talking about pain of all kinds, including misfortunes. You can expect a miracle. one sociologist who got Nobel Prize, his beautiful observation. It is not just his quote, but his observation in research. Successful people, they have talent plus luck, and very successful people, they have talent plus lots of luck. Hmm. So what happens there? If you have less Vinash forces, you are lucky. You are more. That's what he observes. It is not because they doing everything right. No, it is just you need to be lucky in life. and if there are Vinash forces, you may be doing everything right, but things don't work out because there are Vinash forces. This overrides everything else. If you work at this level, you are guaranteed to be lucky. And we also saw how do you do this? How do you get this right? The big secret is understand precisely exactly what this means. Soul consciousness means. Like some practices we are starting with, even 5 minutes, 2 minutes that we do, that is absolutely emphasizing. It is not just seeing the soul, but soul seeing this world. Understand the difference. That is what is required. It is not some vaguely soul, something, a point, light. That is not enough. Soul seeing this world. And soul seeing even Prashant. That's what we are using that language. Prashant is part of the story. And soul. So every minute you are creating time in that accurate soul awareness, you are changing the game. You are removing these false identities. They become smaller. This is purification. This is what removing the past karma. This is what removing the vices. Game is this. If one who is the wisest, he will give it fuller priority. And there is nothing else more important than this. Because little effort and big reward. Reward that goes beyond today. Hmm. Now we are coming to the subject of today. And when we are seeing in a broad way, set like a giving the overview, we say that there is a physical world, and we say we come into this world and we have an exit. It appears as if we are coming here, go through a life, and we come out as if one life, and we come out. When we go into the details, when we look at this in more detail, we have also already spoken about reincarnation. During this journey, it is not just one life journey, it is many lives. There are more details. This journey in this box may involve many, many lives for some. But for everyone, there is a structure. There are phases. We go through different phases in the details of our life here. Just like in the physical existence of a person, he is born and he dies. He goes through different phases. There is a baby and a child, and then there is a adolescent, then there's an adult, and then an old man, a very old man. So we go through all these different phases. In the same way, this invisible traveler, when he comes in this physical existence, he goes through many phases. And we are going to discuss what are these different phases. This applies to everyone on the planet, whether they are from north or south, or whatever religion, just like we all go from different phases, become adult, become old, we get very old. Same thing applies to everyone, whether you are of whatever religion. Same happens to the soul in our journey. Different phases. What are these different phases? One phase is called the Brahmin phase. We'll be going into the details about this, but let us say at this stage, just mentioning the different phases. When we are in the Brahmin phase, the dominant energy is love for knowledge. Each phase has its own energy. Result of the knowledge, Brahmin is a student life, is the next phase. The next phase is called the deity phase. And what would you say is the energy of the deity? You can answer if you want. What do you think is the energy? Brahmin energy is knowledge. He wants. What is deity?
Love, happiness. Yeah, happiness is getting
Yes,
good
yes.
votes.
Happiness is good.
Pure existence.
Yeah, and happiness comes with friends. So I agree. Love will also be there. Deity, none of these phases last forever. They may last longer in some, but they don't. They are not permanent phases. We come into the next phase, and next phase is called warrior. And even though the word appears like a warrior, it is in this phase, the predominant energy is courage. We don't stay as warriors forever, and this is in different births. We may spend few births as a deity, few births as a warrior. Then the next phase comes. Make a guess, what's the next phase after warrior?
Merchant. I don't know if it's
Merchant.
possible to guess it though, but maybe she knew already.
Yes, the merchant. And the merchant, he's losing. He is not having energy of happiness. That inner supersensuous happiness is less. Courage is also not there. When we are in this phase, the predominant energy is comfort. He's looking for comfort, safe place. After this, the next phase, we call it Shudra. And Shudra is like the phase where there is laziness, running out of all these energies, and it takes the form of laziness. And what is the phase after Shudra?
Beginning with D. Okay. Well, maybe we would think, yeah, lazy. Maybe we would think it should be Brahmin. Devil, someone has written. Yeah, demon.
Good. Yeah. So Ravan is fully, full-fledged Ravan takes over, so it is demon. And when we are in this energy, the energies of sorrow, take sorrow, give sorrow. We said Ravan means, Ravan represents devil or demon, and demonic tendencies dealing with sorrow. So let us see these phases. What is after the demon? After the demon is Brahmin again. One goes to its own bottom and then he springs back. Comes student. The Brahmin is a student phase, and he comes back. He is thirsty for knowledge and transformation. So it's a cycle, journey of journey, something that is eternal and can exist in the form of the cycle. So now we'll come into some details about the phase of the Brahmin. So here is a Brahmin. If you see the life of a Brahmin, what will you see? First, of course, he has love for knowledge. So he will know where the libraries are, where the books are, where the bookstores are, which books you can get in which place. He is up to date on this. And these days, he will know which website you can get which information. He will be totally into it. If you ask any question, he knows, he may have the answer, or if not, he knows where to look for it. So they are all the time with books. You see sometimes in this city, Cambridge city, like this, people walking around with big books in a park. You will see someone with thick glasses going around with books. So that is like they have love for knowledge. One is the student. Student is one thing, but someone with love for knowledge, that is another thing. Any free time, they will go to the books. But larger life of a Brahmin, there will be cleanliness. There will be simplicity. Their priorities are different. So they lead something simple life. Those who are in the Brahmin phase, they think of the community. So sense of service. They have knowledge. They know I can do something so simple, something so little, and they can get benefit. Bill Gates, in the present day, Bill Gates is more of a Brahmin than a merchant, actually, because he reads a lot. He tells which books to read. He tells every month, he tells which are the good books from what he has read, and a spirit of service. Because when you are reading so much, you also know how you can make a difference. What you can do something so simple and benefits can be a lot more. But I'm just giving this one example, but we will have examples in your own home. And you are the example, actually. Very fact that you are here after 7 days, if you are in this Brahmin phase. And those who are in the Brahmin phase, they will have some interest to know God, search for God. Possible they gravitate in that direction. God is a symbol of truth, symbol of wisdom, symbol of knowledge. So they are looking for Athena. I know we got from Giorgio from Italy. So they are also looking for Minerva. Minerva, goddess of knowledge, wisdom. So these are like the Brahmin phase. The result of the Brahmin is the next phase. A student, you are a student, you get promotion. There is a progress. So here, if you are lucky as a Brahmin, you come across the right knowledge. If you are in the Brahmin phase and you are just reading some books, history books or something, that will not make you a deity. But if you come across the spiritual knowledge, the right kind, you become deity. If you if you get a knowledge to become soul conscious, knowledge to get victory over Ravan, then now deity, what will you see in a deity? First thing is you will see happiness. Take happiness, give happiness. Say if some person has got 10 defects, one virtue, he sees the virtue in the person. In his life, let us say 10 things are going wrong, one thing going right. He says, I'm lucky because something is going right. And that's what he focuses. He doesn't even speak about, because to speak about means you are gravitating towards the negative. And if you say, oh, I should not do this, but you are giving energy to it. Those who are in the deity phase, they naturally see everyone is good. It is not like a management program they are doing, but they are not students. They are already deities. Those who are Brahmins, they may be saying, yes, I'm getting this feeling, but I should change. So that is what. Deities are naturally happy, naturally positive in everything. Their natural reactions are sure, this kind of. You ask them middle of the night, shall we go for a walk? They will say, sure. They are they gravitate to pleasing other people, uh, do things that are,
Not
and they also
people
enjoy.
pleasing though.
Hmm?
Not people pleasing though, not in that way.
Not in that way, but they naturally are happy with that.
Yeah.
They like this. So they are great company as a result. They do things with happiness. It's the middle of the night. You have to go walk. They say they enjoy it. It's a different experience, great happiness. They may climb mountain, they may climb Mount Everest. But they do this because they enjoy it, not because they have to, you know, you know, compete but they are doing it out of enjoyment, fun. They enjoy walking, this kind of thing. They enjoy. Say you have to wash clean 20 pots. They will do it with happiness. No, they will not say, oh, I'm so, why me? These feelings won't be there. They do it with happiness. That's why naturally positive, naturally, you know, good company. If you are looking for a friend, you should choose a deity as a friend. The company, one is they are happy and they are positive, but they also uplift you because they see you with the highest vision. That's what they naturally notice, and they bring out the best in you also. Those who are in this deity phase, they are also lucky in life. Why they are lucky in life?
They made themselves lucky. They say you make your own luck.
And we said if you do not have Vinash forces, if you have forces of honor, then you become lucky in a
Yeah, they would.
karma. So inside their psychic, if you take the photograph of the soul, there are no Vinash forces. So whatever they do, they find they're lucky. If you look into their health, they health history. There are very few problems here and there, and they can be cured with some simple medications. They get cured. So they usually find themselves healthy. They don't have to worry too much about, they don't have to take vaccination.
That's controversial, but yeah, I get the point.
They will not be fighting against, they won't be doing protest against vaccination, but whether vaccination, no vaccination, they don't get problems. These are like a deity. Those are in the deity phase. You want to say anything?
Yeah, someone asked, can you be in more than one phase at a time?
No. We may have some tendencies towards it, because we have gone through all these phases, but the journey continues. We will be seeing the other phases as we go further, and then we'll have better feel of it. So we saw the deity phase. We said deities don't stay deities forever. We then find ourselves in the next phase, that is the warrior phase. And even though the word warrior is used, we said it doesn't mean they are fighting war all the time, but they do not have the energy of the deity. They don't have that energy of inner happiness. So they operate with the next best, which is the courage. So they do things with courage. They may go Mount Everest, but with courage, not with a happiness. So it takes the form, courage may take the form of adventure, spirit. They tend to be risk-taking. Those qualities are there. They tend to come into competition. But if there need be, they also like to dominate. Warrior, those tendencies, they want to be in charge. And if need be, they are ready to fight also. So war. They think things can be solved by fighting. Those who are in the Brahmin phase, they will try to solve in sensible, intelligent way. Conflict management, what do they call it? Uh, conf, uh,
Conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution. That is Brahmin. Brahmin will be thinking about conflict resolution. And a warrior will say, we have to fight and solve it, beat. That is, in the process, he may himself be injured also. But that is the way they think.
Someone is asking, are we not meant to be going upwards?
We'll come to it. We saw that we go through the different phases, and then we come into the Brahmin phase. Brahmin phase is the phase when we are going up, but other phases we are gradually coming down. A question to you: how come deity becomes a warrior? What happens? He was a deity, so why one who was a deity at one time becomes a warrior?
Is it to do with fear? Not enough sleep? Maybe tiredness. Yeah, tiredness.
They,
Energy of the soul reduces, the vices come. Envy, the going down energy, it's like a
yeah,
kind of a falling, guiding to guide others, losing his purity.
yeah. As we saw here, we are the invisible traveler passing through. And as long as he knows he is the traveler and is the foreign world, he's a deity. He creates the first attachment in this world. That's all that's required. He creates one attachment in this foreign world, and now he finds himself subconscious fear of losing it because it is a world where he has no control, and it is a temporary world. So subconscious fear. Courage you need only if there is fear. If there is no fear, there is no need of courage either. So when fear comes, now your warrior is required, but he's losing the higher happiness. That supersensuous happiness is possible if there is no drop of poison. Ravan's feelings should be zero. Then it is supersensuous experiences. You bring in some of these Ravan's feelings, then it blocks the higher feelings. And now he has to use courage. And so he now is busy as a warrior, and then he creates more attachments to solve his fear and down goes into that spiral, downward spiral. We said he is an adventure. He will climb the Mount Everest, but he will not climb Mount Everest, you know, uh, like a deity. He will go there with a flag. He wants to be there before you. He's in competition, and he will he will talk about it. That deity goes to Mount Everest. He doesn't talk about me going to Mount Everest because he does it because of his happiness, not to get some respect. He has self-respect. That's one who is in the deity phase. One who is in the warrior phase, he needs endorsement. He needs some others noticing that he has done this. He will definitely put his photograph in the Facebook. Then it is definitely the warrior. So he finds himself. If he is asked to do certain job, maybe washing 20 pots, it is like a hated compulsion. He will see it that way. Deity will do it with happiness, whereas warrior will do it. If others are noticing it and all, then he will be, fully excited about it. If no one is noticing, that is there is no incentive. We will see it as a hated compulsion. I'll give you one very good example of this warrior. You know, we had someone by name John Bullimore. He a British sailor. He was not young. He was, but mid age, middle age, and he was in a round the world sailing competition. And the middle of the Pacific, his boat capsized. Middle of the Pacific. So people thought he died because there was a storm there, and he didn't reach the destination that they were expecting. Then many weeks passed, and so they thought very very small chance of anyone surviving in that storm. But every 3 days they were getting a signal from him, So they thought maybe he's alive, because there is a signal comes every 3 days. So they asked the airlines that were flying in that area to look out if they can see anything. And one airline noticed a capsized boat. So they informed where that boat is capsized. and it was an Australian warship was in that area they sent. So they found that he's still alive. 6 weeks or 8 weeks later, he managed freezing temperature when the water was freezing. So they brought him to England. He was like a little hero, who managed all this. And some film companies from Los Angeles came to make film based on him. 2 weeks later, as soon as he was discharged from the hospital, he went for his next sailing trip. He was not interested in the film. He was not interested in money. He wants to be in the sea. And that is the warrior energy. They want risk taking. They want adventures. They want competition. That is the energy. They don't. It is like a bit punishment for them to sit, uh, telling someone about your story, ongoing story. Make a film based on it. Oh, then the warrior doesn't stay as a warrior. The same person comes into the next phase. And next phase is merchant. And what is the big thing about merchant? What is the uniqueness of the merchant? Merchant has lost the energy of courage. So he wants to play safe. That is very important for him to be safe. Warrior is risk taking. Merchant will not take risk. In a place safe, merchant is the one who will look for comfort.
Someone's put business or exchange for profit.
Even though it appears merchant appears like a trade, even though name is used, a person may be doing any kind of job. He may be a lawyer, he may be doing any job, housewife, but mentality, thinking, and attitudes are of this kind. As we said, even though the word warrior is used, but he may be playing sport. He may be rock climbing, but the word used is warrior. In the same way, word is merchant, but that is they may go in that direction, because merchant is safe. You don't have to go and risk life. You buy and sell, this kind of thing. It is safe. So those who are merchant, they also tend to like food more. That is, don't know why that connection is there, but there is one thing is they like food, and what is the other thing they like? If you go to the household of a merchant, the talk will be about food, and the talk will be about what? What will they be talking about?
Money, sweet.
Money, absolutely. Financial times will be there, in almost every room. So there will be lots of talk about money and maybe other times talk about food.
Possessions.
Yes. And those who are in the merchant phase, they they like to show off their wealth. The word we use is opulence. And so you want to show off how much wealth you got. You buy a car, not necessarily what is comfortable to you, what others will think it is a symbol of being rich. They want to show off their diamonds. They want to show, so they will have a place where there is lots of glitter. They want to show their wealth. Those who are in the deity phase, those who are in the deity phase, if you look at their house, there will be more taste and less expense. Tastefully done, less expense. There is some tree, they use this. What is already there, they use it, and it all looks so beautiful, just right. Something very tasteful, and expense is less because the head is very clear. They can think clearly. You go to the household of the merchant, there will be more expense and less taste. There will be less taste because intellect is getting bit not as smart as deity. How will the merchant go to Mount Everest? We say deities will go with happiness. Merchants will go with their flag. Those who are hearing this for the first time, they get first chance to answer. How will the merchant go to Mount Everest? Will they take their flag? Will they take diamonds?
Business class with plenty of food with them. Prize. So maybe with that motivation. By aeroplane, helicopter. Being carried.
Yeah, they won't go to Mount Everest, but they will sell tickets. They will organize tours and send others. They want a little commission in between. That is merchant. Why deity becomes a merchant? And deity becomes a warrior, warrior becomes a merchant. Why warrior becomes a merchant? What happens?
Same dynamic where there's some fear of losing in this case.
More attachments. That
Yeah.
is all.
Tiredness of fighting.
Yeah, that is also. But at a deeper level, you are in the spiral, downward spiral. You have created more attachments. You got now children and grandchildren and dog and cat and you have to pay the banks and you have to pay these bills and there is this huge expansion of your household and you have to maintain all this. So to go to Mount Everest is not your priority now. To go to North Pole, all these adventures is not for you. So he thinks it is best to be safe, to be nice to the rulers, and be get some patronage from the politicians, from the kings, from the warriors, protection from the warriors, and remain comfortable, remain safe. So this is the tendency of the merchants. So those who were warriors in one birth, they don't remain warriors forever. A few births down the line, they become merchants. They are the same souls, become merchants. And the same souls then become Shudras because the spiral continues down. So now they are in the Shudra phase. And in the Shudra phase, they are further down, they losing all energy, not even the merchant energy. So there is laziness. And laziness of the head presents as dullness. And when there is dullness of that kind, everything gets distorted. Even the knowledge, it gets distorted. The way they hear it, the way they speak, it is changed. It becomes irrelevant. But at the same time, something else happens in the Shudra. What is the other thing with Shudra? There are desires because Ravan has become bigger. And all these 10 heads have been getting bigger all along because they are going down the spiral. And so they want their hits. They use the language hits, means one head wants cigarettes, next is chocolate, next is chewing gum, next is drink something, coffee. One after the other, there are hits, watch some television. They need some constant entertaining, to the different heads. This becomes the life of the Shudra. Indulgence, hits, laziness. But as a result of all this, there is no simplicity, is the opposite of Brahmin, and no cleanliness, not clean. So it is not a great life, quality of life. We are going into degradation of the individual, degradation of the soul, but it contributes to the degradation of the community. Because it goes everywhere. That laziness and distortion. If there are certain percentage of the people are in that phase, it affects the whole society. Then what kind of the party they create and how they bring people to power, it all depends on this. If you take a cross section of a society, one city, you take a cross section, there may be 20% warriors and 5% Shudras. In another city, maybe 20% Shudra and 5% warrior, and maybe 5% deities. This ratio matters. That influences everything, right from traffic to how the people operate, how the politicians operate. If there is corruption, no corruption, it all depends on the ratio at this level. So after Shudra, we said, comes the demon. And demon is opposite of the deity. Deity, take happiness, give happiness. The one who is in the demon phase, take sorrow, give sorrow. Deity says, someone has got 10 defects, one virtue. He notices the virtues of everyone. Demon sees defects of everyone. He can't see the virtues. He says everyone is so terrible because he has got this defect and someone else got another defect. He remains naturally negative as a result. His world is negative. He says every world is all terrible. Everyone is bad. This kind of a tendency. But taking sorrow also, it is like sorrow is a dominant area. All along, the Ravan has been getting bigger. That is as a result, there are Vinash forces and misfortunes. So that is also another part of it. So all this is like a lowest condition of the soul. The same soul, one who was a deity, one who was a Brahmin, he also becomes the Shudra, becomes a demon. Each one has its own lowest. But having reached his own lowest, in an eternal soul doesn't continue going down and down. There is his own lowest, it springs back again. He desperately looking for the answer to his inner riddle. And he can't handle his own weight. The demon is like this, Ravan. Ravan cannot handle Ravan, if you understand what I mean. Like someone may have anger, and he feels, I can't handle my own anger. I want to change. It is not because others are getting problem, his anger. Others may get 2% of the problem, but he gets 100%. You know, he is experiencing it. So demon cannot cannot carry on as a demon. That burden makes him change, and that's why he's searching, and that's what makes him a Brahmin. And he continues to come up the spiral. So we saw the whole journey when we are coming in this physical world. We saw it appears like a simple arrow, but this journey has its details. Mm. If you see the society, every society, every within one family, there may be someone who is in the warrior phase, one person is in the Shudra phase, and one person is in the Brahmin phase. It can be like this. It is not one family is a warrior family and another is a merchant family. It is usually not like that. Usually there will be suddenly some deity in the middle of some Shudras also. That this uh, this such things also happen. You want to say anything?
The last point feels important because it's not that you can really say from the external profession or type of family. It's a very individual, subtle. And also the point that we reach our own. In fact, there's a quote, rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. Right.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't, it's really the inner burden and the wish for change, a calling for each one. There's a question. If we know a deity, could or should we help such a person not form attachment, which would lead to this subconscious fear, which creates the downfall?
Yes, of course. But maybe we have to help those who are further down. Maybe that is more urgent. They are the ones who will be more receptive. But yes, if you come across too many deities, definitely protect them. Wanted to say that here, you know, if you go to the household of a Brahmin, what will you see? There will be cleanliness, simplicity, and some books here, there, some photographs, but those photographs are meant to inspire. Some slogans, maybe they are meant to create atmosphere for himself, for others. That is that feeling you get. A talk will be about what they have been reading recently, what they are reflecting. That will be the talk about. That's what they gravitate. They create atmosphere around this. Go to the household of a deity, as was said, tasteful, perfection, happiness. The place itself radiates happiness, but simplicity. There is no glitter. Warrior, you go to the household of a warrior, you might see the skin of a tiger somewhere. You might see some guns, some weapons, ancestral photographs with medals, you know, or trophies, there are sports achievement. You go to the household of a merchant, what you might see? You might see a big car, you might see lots of gold, or at least, shiny things, and smell of lots of good food. So that will be merchant. Go to the household of a Shudra, what will you see? Maybe when you reach that place, they are still asleep. New Year's party is still going on.
TV is the big feature.
Yeah.
It sounds like student house, actually.
Yeah. Household of a demon, they will be thinking why everyone is bad, so they have to deal with how to take sorrow, give sorrow, that is like a demon, demonic phase. So you get an idea about the society. One question for you, and then after this we will be taking a break. Why is Brahmin shown the top? Brahmin is not perfect. He's a student. He was a Shudra just before. Now he has become Brahmin. And deity is a perfect man, and deity is the highest of the humans. But why is Brahmin shown at the top? Those who are hearing this question first time, you get answer. You get a first chance to answer.
The energy of the soul maybe is the highest. It's like recovering itself. Because Brahman knows all the faces, knows all the faces, because it's a cycle and not static, completely open and receptive, searching realization. They have potential to become good.
Yeah, that's nice. Now, one thing that happens, each of these phase contributes to the society, brings certain energy, factor to the society. For example, warrior, he brings competition into the society. Talking about climbing Mount Everest. How will a Brahmin go to Mount Everest? We said merchants will not go. They will sell tickets. Warriors, they will go with their flag. Deity will go out of happiness. How will a Brahmin go to Mount Everest?
They might read about it. They might study something about it. They might go with faith. They might go in peace, looking up. They might go research it first. They might not go.
Yeah, Brahmins, they won't go to Mount Everest. Why not? Because they got so many other things to do. The society has got so many issues. That has to be addressed here, on the ground. Base camp one, there are issues. And that is the priority of the Brahmin. To go to Mount Everest is not a priority. Whereas warriors, that is a priority for them. and they create this competition in others that and distract others into doing things that may not be relevant to the community at all. It can, in one case, it can be climbing to Mount Everest. Another case, it can be is going to space. In what way is it helping? Just to go, some of these millionaires go to space. It is just, and they have to go there before anybody else. This kind of thing. So that is possible for warrior, and that is possible for a deity, but not for a Brahmin. But warriors are the ones who bring this competition. That's fine. That is what they bring. Merchants, they bring the energy of manipulation because they have to make money, and if they can sell a little bit at an extra price, they can sort of uh, they can play with this a little bit, your psychology. For example, they want to sell you something for 99.99. They really mean it is 100, but they will put it 99.99 blatantly. And the only reason they are doing this is to make you feel it is cheaper. A deity will sell the same thing and he will say it is 100 euros. But we are giving you the best product, better product, but it is 100 euro. It will be, they operate from love. Those who are deities, they bring love in the community. Whereas all these other areas, they bring their own other factors. Merchants bring this manipulation. Shudra, they will go one step further because desperation is bigger. They can do cheating in the Shudra for their desperation is more, and the conscience is less of it. And demons can go into violence because of their desperations, needs. Ravan is bigger. So they bring all these different factors in the society. Brahmins, they are bringing everyone up. Brahmins have got a knowledge, they can make others into deities, including themselves. Deities cannot make others into deities because they don't have that knowledge to make others into deities. They themselves are going down the spiral. But Brahmins are those with knowledge, and because of that, they pull everyone up. They make them into deities. That's why they bring this energy to the community, upliftment.
Can you be a Brahmin and a deity at the same time?
Brahmin is moving in the deity phase. It starts as a new Brahmin, we said, trainee angel. So he starts something like that. But as he goes up the spiral, uh, outer form is still a student, but internally it would be like a deity. Yeah.
So why would one want to remain a Brahmin rather than become a deity? Why would one not want to remain a Brahmin rather than become a deity?
It is not a choice anymore. It is like really what happens is deeper transformation is happening. That is all matters. And Brahmin phase is necessary at the present time because now is the need. As was said, world needs upliftment. When the forces, all forces are taking everyone down the spiral, world needs upliftment. So there is need of more Brahmins. And so he's happy to be as a Brahmin. But if in the next future journey, next phase for him will be deity.
Yeah, it's clear. And does it happen life after life or within one life?
As was said, this journey from Brahmin, deity, warrior, merchant, and back to Brahmin, it involves many births. For majority, it will be many births, but there will be some who have to go through this in fewer births. But it is a journey during our time in the physical world. Tomorrow we'll be talking a little bit more about our journey and subject of time that will answer more of some of the questions.
Yeah, that's so nice. And even the question, who has more money, was an interesting one. Maybe.
Money, physical money, maybe merchants, they will be counting more, but deities are the one who are lucky and but they are not counting.
That's right. So it's really a question of what we understand by wealth.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So the question we could ponder on for rooms, what is the method to create change, win over Ravan, and create a deity? Does that sound
Yeah.
something
Very,
to
very good.
big question, but it's always nice to start somewhere and enjoy the rooms. We'll see you back just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. It'd be really nice if you're happy to share your thoughts on this and experiences and questions, because it's literally a mind-bending topic, isn't it? Because we're talking about returning to something, but phases in between. And where does the aspect of choice fit in? Like, I don't really like the idea of going down. So, yeah, maybe we'll bring Prashant back in on that note. Keep welcome back.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hello. Um, some areas to touch in this subject, and one is, some might say, I am in the merchant level at the moment. I am in the warrior level. So what is the next thing for me? Should I go through all this Shudra? And what this knowledge says, anyone can become a student. It is not possible for a person to say, I'm going to become a deity today, or I'm going to become a warrior. If he has already gone into the next phase, lower phases, then he just can't have that energy of the deity or the warrior. But anyone can become a student, and this is like a nice option. And student, then it is a upward journey. And another aspect for us to know, what is the highest thing we can do to this world at the present time? Like all the political parties all over the world and scientists, and they want to know what we can do for this world. There are people who want to do philanthropy. They don't know what they can do with it. How can they really solve this world riddle? And when you see this bigger map and the hidden side, the spiritual knowledge gives us another dimension altogether. Then you realize that the highest thing we can do is to make it easy for people to become students, or those who are having potential to be a Brahmin, to make it easy for them. to make this knowledge available to more places. And because once they have the opportunity, amongst in any community, there will be potential Brahmins who make use of this. They bring about change. They become deities. There is no shortcut. Unless the deep level shift is brought about. Uh, As long as we are going down the spiral and just bring more diamonds and more, computers and more, some new AI, technology, that is not going to change the world. Imagine, there is a society where you have lots of diamonds and lots of, best gold and technology. Everything is there. But residents are into Shudra, in the demon phase. What will happen? With all this, they will use that technology to create problem to others. They will use the diamonds. They will sell diamonds to buy more machine guns. You will create hell of the place. If the minds of people are in the Shudra level or demon level, you create the deity mind. That's all. You create a society where it's a deity mind. Then what happens? You don't need anything. You don't need diamonds. You don't need technology. They will create heaven. The world as it is immensely beautiful and perfect. We just need the deity mind, deity heart, and deity eyes to deal with it. So you will create heaven without anything. Everyone will be happy. They don't need any of these things. But as we are seeing, deities are also lucky and things happen, in a different law operates. That's why, the Brahmins are those who create deities, including themselves. They make themselves into deities and they bring about transformation in the soul, but uplifts everyone else. Let me listen to any questions if there are any. Otherwise, we'll go to the next subject also.
Yeah, there are questions on this. A couple of questions from earlier today before we started. You've answered this in a way, but it's come again. So is it possible one soul can see these different phases in one birth, warrior, merchant, Shudra, and demon, in just one life?
Right. And then sometimes people say this, that they can see all of that within themselves. But, I don't know if that is what they meant. And say 4 people might be saying something similar. We got all this. And then give them a choice. Today there is a football match happening. There is a party happening. And there is a lecture, very interesting. And they say, oh yes, I'm very interested in this lecture. But they are also interested in football. And they are also interested in the party. Let us see what they choose. And that tells you whether they are in the Shudra phase, all happening at the same time. And then you have to choose one of them. And you will see that some will choose the party and some will choose something else. Sometimes some people enroll for the program, or they want to come for a certain program, but they wait until the last minute. They see if the party is cancelled. If it is cancelled, then they will come.
There's always a dominant. Yeah, that helps. If Brahmins can pull others upwards, is it possible we can fluctuate between Brahmin and deity for many cycles? The question is clear.
Yeah, yeah. in a many cycles. Tomorrow we will be understanding the cycle and better. We'll discuss it. But Brahmin is a student life, and then you know that that option of the student life doesn't exist forever. It finishes at a certain point, and then the score. If someone has made his Brahmin phase really, really strong, really deep and strong, if he is lucky to get more hours, more years to experience that phase, then he is very lucky because his deity phase will last longer. He will still need to go through other phases, but the deity phase will last longer. If the Brahmin phase is not so strong, then the deity phase will be shorter and he will more quickly enter into other phases and may spend longer time as a merchant. So if you want to protect yourself from a merchant, long merchant phase, then you have to make the Brahmin phase strong. So the deity phase lasts longer. But at that time, as a deity, there is no option or there is no inclination towards the knowledge.
Very clear. I think that should help. Yep. Um, yeah, maybe on this, maybe tomorrow it'll be helpful. What about karma in the view of these cycles? Where is it created? Is it better taken tomorrow, or you want to comment?
Tomorrow will be good.
We're making a note of these
Mm.
cycle-related questions. A simple question: is the soul the same as the invisible traveler, the real self?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Just a last one here from yesterday's topic. Sometimes the pain lingers. Is there a reason, or the way, does this have an analogy? Is the way it's written, but I think they're asking, is there a reason? When the message of pain, it kind of lingers.
Yeah, yeah. All we can do is check that our inner posture is in right and work on that. It has to be constantly in that highest place. If that effort is made, then there is no reason pain need to last long.
Yeah, nice.
The answer to that is posture, in the inner posture, putting that right. I'm meaning emotional pains, then it should be very easy. The physical bondages, that is sometimes deeper, but even physical pain, we can bring about the transformation. Formalize this detachment and refinement of that. That is all that's required.
Yeah, thank you. And the nice thing about that image is you can go straight to the highest to create that time to experience what is that full freedom. And it becomes easier than trying to deal with the wrong posture at that level. You spend time with the right posture, the feeling of guest, and all the practices. So there aren't any other questions right now.
Let us come in the experience. Now, the whole thing is based upon the experience. Knowledge is nice, but it is to make the experience easy. So even what we discussed today, just to get a background, but what we need to do today and over the next week is to come in that highest posture. And what is that highest posture? We are reminding that that paras perspective. Paras is just like using the new glasses. And with this, we are seeing the physical world for what it is. If it is temporary, we accept it is a temporary world. For a guest, it is a foreign world. It is not our world. The whole lot, including Prashant, it is part of this foreign world. Every atom around is, not one atom can belong to the person. This is what the invisible witness realizes. He says this is the foreign world, is temporary world. It is unpredictable world. It is a story world. And he is not in control of that world. Such is that world. He accepts it. He remains sensible. He remains the detached observer of it. He may be involved as an actor. He is, but doesn't change the fact it is a foreign world. He is prepared for the unexpected. Not for 1 second he creates any expectations or preference, prepared for anything. And why should he go there as a beggar? He has his world, alokik world. He has his home, invisible home, and he has his true family. They all are like living stars. They all are immortal. They all are divine beings. Their nature is of full happiness and full love. Ravan free region, and their life is Ravan free. They are that innate deities. We get deities in the drama because souls are eternally deities, divine. Which also means they have nothing inauspicious, natural. They are made of the stuff deities are made of. No trace of Ravan. Ravan and Ravan's complications, Ravan. Even desperation, desire, disappointment, that is all Ravans. They are free from this. So that creates like an eternal place of happiness and peace and contentment. Such is our world. And every second we are experiencing it, we make it easy for others to experience it. We create light in this dimension. Invisible witness, he remains the invisible traveler. He remains the invisible trustee. He remains the invisible actor. And invisible witness means he remains the observer of everything, but forever free, forever sensible. Only when he compromises this truth, then he gets into attachments in this foreign world, starts claiming things, and suddenly it becomes as if he has God-given right to own things or start identifying things. For Ravan, it appears so natural, for Ravan. Ravan is stubborn in error. It is in a wrong position, but he may feels as if it is all natural and normal. Upside down appears normal for Ravan. So we are understanding how absurd that is. And give ourselves the experience of being right way up. And right way up, who is right way up? It is like invisible witness waking up. That is required to be right way up. He understands his world is of perfection. Everyone is perfect. Home is perfect. He is perfect. Nothing lacking or missing. Perfect forever. He knows everyone is lucky. They are innately lucky. Everyone is immortal. And if they are made of the stuff deities are made of, they are lucky. He knows he's lucky forever. Lucky not because of the story. Story has a script and it is not his story. He is lucky because of this extraordinary truth. Thank you.
Thank you. Sometimes it's said, world of disbelief. It's like that it's possible. Like the fish who didn't remember the ocean and then he realizes, wow, it's sweet. So we've come to time, but there is a question. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Trying to understand that this stage, which is full of love and full of service, that Brahmin phase, but what's shared is sometimes those who are suffering also maybe they're experiencing depression but are full of these feelings of love and service. So what state could that be?
Yeah. To here what we want is love and happiness of the soul conscious love, soul conscious happiness. Ordinarily, we are operating, in the iron age, in this present world. People are so many songs of love and so much going on, but it is not the soul conscious love, and it is not soul conscious happiness. It is our false identities. They love, they love Freddy because Freddy gives them cakes. this kind of that is going on, and lots of songs. But we want, the foundation is truth, and that love is what helps. That happiness is what heals. Happiness from a wrong position actually takes us in a wrong direction. It feeds Ravan actually.
Connects to the drama where if we might feel love, but it's for Cinderella, then it keeps everyone in the story.
Yes.
But yeah, each aspect is very deep, isn't it? Subtle. So certainly I have benefited from hearing many, many times.
Yeah. We don't just say, oh, love, so wonderful, love, love. Who is loving? And that is the question. Is it the Ravan singing the song, or is it the angel? So we want angel to be in place.
Would you say Sita, who is naturally angelic, coming back to that
Yeah.
story?
Yes, yes.
So that's nice, isn't it? Because we all naturally want to love, but it's the Sita level with Ram rather than one of the heads, which has some needs. So yeah, thank you for the question. And I also like questions, but also to use them for yoga, to not to just stay in their head, but so much is shared, but to ask a question, what would it be like to experience this unconditional love and to be so free and come with that intention to give only from security. Just giving one question and see what does it feel like. So writing down is also great. So Prashant, any final thoughts before we finish?
No,
Officially finish the 7 days, that is.
yeah, congratulations for this journey into the upward journey into the deity and the angel. And yeah, we'll meet. There are we will be meeting tomorrow anyway, but there will be more opportunities.
Yeah, so this is additional. We usually follow up following week, but Prashant will be traveling Monday. So very welcome. Same link, and we will be meeting tomorrow, Saturday, at the same time, 5 to 7. So if not, you can't join, then the recordings will be on the same YouTube. I just want to thank everyone because we all create the atmosphere together and it brings empowerment to the effort. So such gratitude, but especially to Olga, who's been quietly running alongside Prashant, translating in Russian. So big thanks. And on that note, I thought we would have a song to finish with in Russian. So the English translation is in the chat. We give Olga a break. And it's a short song. And we'll meet again tomorrow for those who can join. Thank you so much.
Я душа, я гость в пути. Мир как сцена, не держись. Где привязка, там и страх. Я выбираю свет в делах. Стань светом, и мир светлей. Счастье не взять, отдать сильней. Брахмин, ученик любви и высоты. Я создаю культуру.
song. Thank you. Meet again tomorrow. Enjoy.
Я душа, я гость в пути. Мир как сцена, не держись. Где привязка, там и страх. Я выбираю свет в делах. Стань светом, и мир светлей. Счастье не взять, отдать сильней. Брахмин очень